Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuning into the session. So let's talk about Electric Punanny.
Yes.
Hey, I feel like
I like saying it like that too, huh? Electric
Can we put like an air horn in there?
Ooh. We will. Listen, so you're a co-founder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How did that start? Like the movement? This has been years.
Yeah.
This party's known because let me tell you something. I went the last time and it was popping.
Oh yeah. With Jadena? Yep.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
The pre-Grammy party. I was in there sweating.
Right.
She was crowd surfing.
I ain't even gonna tell you what I was doing in the party, but it's all good though because I had a good time.
I found her upside down on the wall. And I was like, okay, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Ooh.
No, that really is our mission though.
Okay.
Every time. So 2008, Mello X and I are friends already from DJing and in the New York scene. He comes to me because he knows that I'm all into the dancehall and reggae. And he says, I want to start a party that's electro and dancehall. Mm-hmm. And this was like a year before Major Lazer came out. But that's, we wanted to combine those two worlds. So we start the party in New York. We move it to Sway Mondays, which if anyone was around at that time was just madness.
When you had the first one, was it packed or how was it?
Yeah.
The first one we had was at 205 Christie Street and it was jumping.
Really?
But when it got to Sway, that's when it just was
another
level. Just wildness. At one point, the cops came because we shut down Spring Street, had 300 people trying to get in. Wild. So we're doing this party in New York. It's insane. Then we start bringing the party nationally. So other cities are starting to be like, hey, we want to book you to come to it here. Then
how did this happen? Word of mouth? Like
right.
People just started like, how did you
because
build that?
we had like an original theme happening. And I think when you see me and Mello perform, we're both MCs, we're both DJs, we're both party rockers. He's from Brooklyn, I'm from Philly. I think there's just this all around like authentic rawness and we just have so much fun and I think that's contagious.
Yes.
That energy spreads quickly, even if it's beyond your circle or beyond your state or whatever. So we start touring nationally, then we start touring internationally, and then we're everywhere. We're in Sweden, Australia, Singapore, London, Berlin, Japan, so we're touring a lot. And then just over the years, we've just done a lot of cool projects and collaborations. And now we're putting out original music. So that's coming up.
Okay, so when do we expect that?
That's coming up in a little bit.
Okay.
I'll
send it for your next show.
Okay, listen, we're going to play the whole album.
Right. Let's have that digital release party.
When you rap this hook right here and said this bar, what you meant we're going to break it
down. And the visuals.
Well, the visuals, she's going to be upside down.
That's
the album cover. The pom pom thriving.
Ooh.
No, because this is our thing. People are like, why Electric Punanny? And at first it was like a combination of electro music and dance hall. But we really are under the philosophy, and we said this almost 10 years ago, like if all the punannies in the world are electrified, we will all be better off.
Hey.
Yes.
Real. Okay, let's snap for that. Yes. That's some real shit though.
Absolutely.
Real quick.
So word of advice, 2017.
Wow, so
gotta keep it lit.
So it's gonna be a duo album.
Yeah, we're a group, so we've always been a duo. But yes, we're producing. We have different artists featured, and we're gonna be dropping new songs pretty regularly throughout this year. So
nice.
I'm gonna send them all your way.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, and you're a part of this culture of music, kind of being pushed forward. Where do you see it being, like years from now?
Absolutely. So and the other thing about Electric Punanny, which you were kind of asking too, is that we've always kind of been on that hybrid of genres. We've always been clashing genres together in an area that you wouldn't really think would happen. And in New York, every type of person was at our party, whether you were like a hipster from Williamsburg, if you were like a Flatbush Rasta head from like the 50s in Brooklyn, or if you were just somebody passing by on the street. Like we kind of had like just so many different types of people that were there. And this was pre-social media too. So everyone was just like present and wild. Yeah. But anyway, so we like to combine those lines of genres. So like our mixtapes are kind of what we're known for, where we'll play everything from UK grime to Jamaican Skepta, that's not me.
Right.
And to Jamaican dance hall, to Nigerian Afrobeat, to electronic R&B, and we like to get kind of weird with it. So
Keeps you moving.
oh yeah.
Sweating.
Yeah, I would suggest, always bring a little towel and your pum pum shorts to Electric Punanny.
You have to. You have to.
Just to,
I forgot mine that night, so had to redo the fro. It just it's gone, y'all. It's gone.
But that means it was a great night.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you were doing your world tour for Electric Punanny, what place stood out the most?
Yeah. And not choosing favorites, but
Right, I know. I think Berlin might have impacted us the most. We had a gig there with Lee Scratch Perry, who's like the OG. Literally, I think he might have been like 80 years old on that stage. But Berlin is such a wild party city. Like people party from Thursday to Tuesday. Like that's it. Certain clubs are open that late. And there was this Jamaican restaurant called Rosa Coletta that we ate at. And the owner, who's so sweet, we named our first song after him, or after the restaurant actually. And Berlin just stuck on us because it's like people go so hard and they're so open to weirdness. And that's just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
We got to take a trip to Berlin.
Right.
You just got to sleep for a week beforehand and then be able to sleep for a week after.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what's your prep like before you get ready for a show? Because I know different things change, like deadlines change where you're like, oh, you get a call one day and you have to be out of the country the next day. Like, what's the prep like for you? Like, where do you find balance there?
Well, so the prep for international travel is because I'm like a health nut except for sugar. Sugar is my one horrible, like chocolate.
Ooh.
Dark chocolate.
Well, that's good for you.
I know, but I need it every day. It's bad. And then these like matcha lattes from Coffee Bean have me so fucked up in the game.
Oh.
Anyway, but other than that, like I don't drink that much. I don't really smoke that much. I mean, being out in Cali, definitely smoke a lot more. But so I drink a lot of water. I get my sleep. I'm kind of a grandma when it comes to certain things. So I'm always thinking about my health, thinking about making sure that I balance and get enough rest. And at this point, in terms of traveling, like I know all my healthy snacks that I want to bring, and making sure I have enough water and just my jet lag pills, and trying to, if you're really traveling internationally, the key is like get massages while you have layovers. Like if you're doing 20-hour flights, 24-hour flights, and you get a layover, get a little massage. It helps with your circulation. So I just have all these like tricks, and I just try to stay holistic with it as much as possible. Eat my veggies,
Yeah, because a lot of people think the life of traveling is glamorous, and it's not always glamorous.
I mean, it is if you're not working.
True.
Like if you're on vacation and you're chilling in Thailand on the beach for 5 days, you don't really got to worry about shit.
Right.
But if you need to make sure that you can show up, not sick. If you ate something crazy and
Do you have any horror stories?
Oh my God.
Let me hear
Girl.
one.
I was like, I like where this is going.
Oh my God. One time, okay, so this is a little separate from having to DJ, but during my travels, I lived in the Amazon for 5 days.
What?
On a ferry boat. And it was glorious. And on the top of the ferry boat, we slept in hammocks, and they just put nets down.
Wow.
And then in the bottom of the ferry boat was the kitchen. And at one point, we pulled over to this little area, and they're like, you can swim in the Amazon. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get over my fear of anacondas. I'm going to do this, right? So we all go swimming, not just like on the edge or whatever. When we get back,
oh no.
Don't tell me there was an anaconda just
You had
I got some type of bug, because I also love to eat everything. Like I'll eat street food from any country. Like I don't follow the rules when it comes to that, because I'm just like, give me the food. But I definitely got very sick, and stuff was coming out of every which way. And I was quarantined to my room. I was quarantined so that I didn't get anybody else sick. And I was mad. I was very fucked up. But in hindsight, it was totally worth it. But that's the thing. When you're traveling, you got to bring I mean, this might be TMI, but you got to bring your Imodium pills. You got to bring like your Dramamine. Like you got to bring the NyQuil.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to be prepared if you're going to be on the road for like a month or two internationally. And some people live like rock stars and don't even think about this stuff. But again, if you're trying to keep your body straight, you gotta be smart.
And keeping your mind focused too, because there's a lot of like distractions, or you might see something like, oh my God, that's cool, and it's like, wait, no, shouldn't be going that way.
Yep. And sometimes it's like, live your life, you know, like, but other times it's like, don't die,
Right.
Do everything else, just don't die, okay? We need you at this gig at 8 a.m. pronto.
Yeah, exactly.
Military time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh.
So listen, I know you also do, you do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You
That's
also
the 12-hour a day thing.
Man,
Like,
you I can't even say the word right. Curate music for like top places like DNKY, Top Shop, all this stuff. How do you get these gigs? They be just hitting you up and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
yeah, sometimes I think one of the most fun projects I had was curating like a store mix for Fendi, which was and they wanted to do like straight disco. And I was like, yeah. So I did like 2.5 hours of disco, and they liked the mix so much that they turned it into, they like pushed it more to more stores or something. So, I think like I'm a music head, and I kind of have been since I was a kid. And so I like studying all different types of music. So I think people hopefully feel confident in being like, okay, this is the vibe we want. You fulfill it. You conduct that feeling and that, sonically. And so just different people have hit me up over the years. And then, I've done a mix for Nylon and just different magazines. And once people start kind of liking your work, the word kind of spreads. And that part is a lot of fun, like that's probably, especially our Electric Punanny mixtapes, just curating that whole experience with almost making a soundtrack, like you're a composer in a sense. Like that's so much fun.
That is so awesome.
That is.
Because I've worked retail jobs and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like they play it monthly or weekly and you're just like, I love this mix. And you kind of like know the songs that come after. And it's just like, I've never thought like somebody's
Someone
actually
sat there and put it together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it's so important in retail because I remember even the retail jobs I had, like we would just dance all day, like in the big mirrors, like all the employees, like we would be doing like Sierra dances. Yes. There was one store in New York, 555 Soul. They had like a ballerina bar with the full mirror. Oh my God, forget it. As soon as customers left, we were just going stupid. But yeah, it's so important just to set the vibe.
It really is, because I don't like shopping. So if I am dragged to the mall with somebody and music is playing in the background, I'd be right in there like, while they shop, and I'd be like, yes, that's my song.
And even for DJs, that's a whole new revenue stream. Yeah. Oh,
popping it on the handstand.
Sorry, I'm putting all this pressure on you. Every time we go to a party, they're gonna be like, I thought you said that's what she does.
Dance break.
But she only does that at Electric Punanny. Sorry.
Right. Yes. But that's a whole new like revenue stream for DJs that they probably wouldn't have even considered,
I mean, the revenue for DJs now is insane because, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
but
you guys are rock stars now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the only thing is that a lot of people, like everyone's a DJ now. So everyone that like had a big following or a big name and they were like, ooh, I could get hired to come DJ at this place or at your store. And they're making bank, like there's a lot of different ways now that DJs can make money. The only thing that is a little tricky is that the double-edged sword is that like brands or companies or people will hire like mainly female DJs because they have a large following and, they don't always know how to DJ well or never really had any interest in what DJing was. And then you have the purists who used to carry records in their crates and they're looking at you, crazy. And so there's a whole spectrum to the conversation nowadays about DJing and where people fit in but the money is there. Yeah. And the money is there. And that's why people have this conversation because they're like, well, you're making money doing nothing. And I've spent 20 years, carrying crates around. And sometimes it's like, well, that's the industry. That's where we're at. Tough shit. And then other times it's like, no, there's a conversation to be had here because we're losing the essence of the craft or of the art. And music is actually what makes people feel something. Like when you really know how to DJ and build a momentum and have people kind of lose where they're at, then people are just going to have a better experience overall. So, yeah.
It's a session where queens unite to share their light.